just wait for social media to catch up with the live interview. I'm a little bit late. Right, I think a few of you are coming on now. That's good news. I can see a few of you coming on now. That's great. Hi all, evening all. It's Lee Ashby here, Motocross and Speedway Memories. Really looking forward to tonight's one. One of my heroes from the Swindon Robins days in the 80s and 90s that I grew up at in Swindon. So definitely been looking forward to this one. I did manage to test this with him before this come on, so we know it works. That's all good. That's a relief. Yeah, thank you to everyone that's been getting in contact with me. I know there's some messages coming up on my phone now. I'll get back to everyone as soon as possible on my Motocross and Speedway Memories reunion. So I appreciate that. Hello, mother. Yo, Wayne, how's it going, buddy? And evening. Hope that's water you're drinking, and yes, it is. There you go. So yeah, my Motocross and Speedway Memories reunion 2. We had our first one in September, just gone. It was really cool. The reunion in September was really cool that we just did, and obviously now we're now organising the next reunion for our reunion 2. Yo, Roscoe. No, it's not lager. It's just water. Maybe I should have got a cheeky little gin or something when I was talking to Brian, shouldn't I? Oh, damn. Didn't think of that. I didn't mean. No worries. So yeah. Oh, I can actually see he's come in as well. So we'll get on with it then. I won't do my jibber jabber. I will get on with it. I will just say a quick thank you to my man Lee Owen, who supports all my stuff from Owen Developments. You can see it going across your screen now. There you go. Oh, is it? All right, I'll get that out. So there you can see it there, www.owendevelopments.co.uk. So you can check that out. And also thanks to the motocross legend, Stefan Everts, that helps me out with all riders' contacts and stuff on my motocross side. You can check out his gin on s72gin.com. Apparently that's your nickname, Brian. It's just coming up on my screen. I don't know if you can see it from there, but I'll bring it up in a minute. Roscoe's at it already. Right, here we go then. So I'll just play you this intro video and then we'll get on with it. Getting into that. Right, here he is, my man, Mr. Brian Karger. Here he is. Yo, Bri.
Lee, how are you?
How is it? How are you, mate?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Can't complain. Getting old, but yeah, not bad.
I was just about to say, when you saw the video going across, did you forget how much of a legend you are at Speedway as well?
Yeah, well, it's a few years back. Yeah, but I had a good time.
Mate, it was it's cool to get you on. I really appreciate your time. Obviously, you may or may not know you're one of my favourites at Swindon over the years. Grew up in the 80s and 90s at Swindon, so it was really cool to get you on. I was a bit scared earlier when you contacted me on Facebook to test out, and I was like, "Shit, Brian Karger." I was like,
Easy.
True story. I'm a proper fanboy. So, how are you, mate? How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Going along like same story. Like I'm still doing engines and same as I normally, same I've done for many years. Still involved with speedway. That's my work now, doing engines for everybody, and so it's okay. It's okay.
Do you enjoy all that? Have you always enjoyed that side of speedway, Brian? Was you always into the technical stuff before you got into the engine tune? Obviously, when your career finished.
Yeah, probably not the first few years I was riding. Finn Jensen did my engines, but after some time, especially when I was in England, I had to do something myself because it was too expensive to send it back and forward. So I did some myself and just small servicing stuff, and then it took on from there. It's just got more and more.
Have you been enjoying it? Who's the riders that give you the problems all the time?
Yeah, that's true. I forget how it was being a rider, but it's always the engine's fault, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Just look down, innit? Pull the clutch in, look down.
Yeah.
I got Roscoe's coming on already. Look, I knew he'd be on. I was hoping he was going to be on. Apparently that was your nickname. Is that right? The Lager?
Lager, yeah, that was my nickname. I wonder why.
Why is that, Brian? Why is that?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Tell us, Alan. Right, I've got quite a few of the guys are coming on with their questions already. I've got plenty myself, but so Brian, what was the actual first bike then you got? I heard you did a bit of motocross, didn't you? Before, was that true?
I was a motocrosser before speedway. Yeah, my brother bought me a motocross bike, Suzuki RM80, when I was 13, 14 years old, and I started motocross at a track a couple of miles from here where I live. Did that for 2 years and went pretty good actually. I found out pretty easy how to do it, and I did the world champion, the Danish championship rounds in like the first year I was riding, and after a couple of years, my father convinced me that speedway was the way to go. He's an ex-speedway rider, so I thought I'd give it a go.
All right, so you had a history in the family and all that. I didn't actually know that.
Yeah. My father was riding too. Yeah.
Right, I've got a couple of guys here already. Come on, I better ask their questions as well. Between mine, I've got Frank Sorensen here. He's put at the World Pair Final 93 in Vojens, was Team Denmark, Tommy Nielsen and Hans Nielsen, Brian Karger. I have the race jacket worn by Tommy in this meeting. Do you still have your race jacket from this meeting?
I don't know. I do have some, but I don't have much left from my career, to be honest with you. I've had so much shit over the years. I've thrown them out.
You mean it's been nicked by someone?
I don't know. I don't think I have much left from my career. No, I don't have any bikes or nothing. It's just.
Oh yeah.
No. Oh. Why?
Yeah, someone must have it. Yeah. I think this was the guy that sent me the pictures of this.
Yeah.
The guy that sent me that. I said I would bring it up, and I think so. That must be the race jackets there. So you literally you haven't got anything at all.
I have some, but I don't have much.
Wow. Right, I've got Keith Brewerton just put hi Brian and Lee. Does Brian remember the scuffle with the 3 Duggards at Oxford? Here we go.
Yeah, I remember. It's like 10 of them.
Was it?
Yeah, I remember that.
What happened there then?
I made a bit of a mistake going into the first corner. I touched Hans Nielsen's back wheel and I just straightened up, and Martin just happened to be on the outside, and I put him straight on the dog track, and I didn't do it on purpose. So I turned up and went back to see how he was, and then the fight started. I think both Paul and there was a few of them. They wasn't happy with me.
No. But they never see the bit.
I'm actually pretty good friends with Martin today, so he's forgotten about it.
Yeah. I spoke to him as well. He's obviously everyone remembers his thing that he did on the Sky TV as well.
Yeah.
Right, I've got Alan's just put ask him about the house in Leiden with Pete and Arlene, and there were bikes in the front room.
I can't remember that. I think you should ask Pete and Arlene about that.
Definitely need to get him on.
No, I think we used the garage. The workshop was pretty small, so we had to put some of the bikes in the front room, just to have a bit more. There was both me and Peter in there, so
That's
Yeah, it was
brilliant.
just we were
Oh,
young.
love that. Love that. Right, I got Simon Corbett here. Just put, did Brian enjoy the battles with the Cradley at the Abbey? Classic matches.
I enjoyed all of them, to be honest. I didn't have any particular favorite clubs that I was riding against. Well, it's just another race day. It didn't matter who it was, you're there to do the job. And of course, when Eric and Jano and Gert Hamburg was riding, there's been a few Danes riding for them. There's always a thing between the Danish riders in England, they always wanted to beat each other, of course. But I don't remember Cradley being one of my favorite clubs to ride against or anything, But Cradley was a good track. I enjoyed the track.
I got my brother's just come on. My brother's just put, woo, Mr. Karger, what a rider, what a legend. Love watching him. Many years of pretending I was Brian on the speedway board. Dad made for us.
Brilliant.
Yeah, we used to have some little figures.
Yeah.
We used to have some little figures there. It was cool. This is an interesting question, actually. Don't know if you're going to remember stuff like that, but Adam Winsley has put, how many tyres did you go through in a year?
Well, at that time, you could only use one tyre per meeting. So, and I did the year I did most meetings was probably, I can't remember exactly the year, 89, 80, 88, 89, 1990. I did about 120 meetings in a season. Like I did the Danish league, the British league, the Swedish league, German league, and plus the qualifying rounds so probably about 130, 40 tyres.
Wow. There you go, Adam. That was an interesting question. I never even thought about anything like that. Wayne Holloway, how's it going? He's put, hey, Mr. Karger, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you, Wayne? All good? Haven't seen you for a long time.
Yeah,
since Ashley's wedding, I think.
Yeah, because he's over in Poland as well, isn't he?
Yeah, we went to Poland together,
yeah. Do you see him much as well?
I just saw him a couple of weeks ago. I met him in Germany. I had some parts for him. We speak together quite a bit. Yeah, it's one of the few tuners that I do speak to still. But
I was just about to say, is there any tuner wars going on?
Oh, nah, it's just what happened there? Yeah, no, I keep everything to myself, but I do speak to Ashley now and again. He's a good friend of mine and always will be.
That's cool. I don't know who's wrote that, but they've put, don't talk about Ashley's wedding. Don't know who said that. I don't know if we want to know. I don't know if we want to know. I don't know if we want to know. Oh, Stephen Zetterwall's just come on here and said about you being Swedish champions in '88.
Yes, I did. Yeah, Tony Olsen was living in Swindon at the time, and he asked me to do the Swedish league with him, and Per Janssen was there too, and Dennis Lufquist, and there was a few, and we actually ended up winning the league the first year I was there.
Oh, that's it. Oh, of course I know. I should have known. Even by the talk, he's just put, it's Phelpsy, Gary Phelps.
Well, you did mention the bike in the front room earlier, but we actually had a bike in the hotel, and we had to start it up.
Did you?
Yeah, we did.
The back with. Jesus Christ, I can imagine. Doing some donuts in the hotel, was you? Classic. Yeah. Well, I actually grew up with Phelpsy as well. He was actually lived on the same street as me in Swindon, so we obviously knew each other a lot anyway. He did grass track and went into speedway. We did the motocross. Right, I got Wayne's put, all good, pal. And yeah, Ashley's wedding. Remember you starting the bike up in the reception. What a classic.
Yeah, exactly. I knew we'd come up with that.
I knew it'd come up. Yeah. So when you was doing speedway as well, did you do like the motocross in the winter? I know a lot of the guys do sort of motocross for fitness in the winter. Did you do all that?
Yes, I did. I did a lot of motocross in the winter always. Especially the first 10 years. I think after that I did so many speedway meetings. I needed a sort of a break in the winter, but I did still have a bike and went out a few times just to keep fit and have a bit of fun. It's racing at a different level when you're on motocross. You can just go out and play and have fun. Speedway was a business for me, so it's nice to do it that way, just to go out and play.
Did you take to speedway? So obviously, when you went from the motocross to the speedway, when you first did it, did you take to it straight away and sort of pick it up quick? And
speedway. No.
Didn't you?
No way. The first year I was crashing a lot.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite work it out, but I kept on. I was actually pretty close after the first season to go back to motocross because I heard the speedway hurt too much because I was in the fence most of the time. But
So
then it
you learned
suddenly,
quick.
yeah, suddenly it clicked, and I thought I'd give it another year, and then it came on quick, after 3 years I was turning professional, so it did go pretty quick after that. But the first year I was pretty shit.
That's brilliant. I love that. Oh, I got Chris Simpson here. I know he's a big Coventry Bees fan. He's put, who was your closest friend while you were racing? And who was your biggest enemy or the rider you had the most problems with regularly? Interesting.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I've had a lot of close friends, and I still have a lot of close friends in Speedway. So I can't really say who's the closest friend. Enemies, there's always some that you don't speak to too much. I didn't speak much to Martin Dugard after that first heat one at Oxford.
Yeah, you didn't forget that one. Didn't forget that one.
We did start to talk later, so but yeah, I don't know. It's a hard question because obviously you speak to the riders you're riding with in the teams where you're riding, and the other ones you don't speak so much with. It's pretty normal, I think, but I don't think I've had any enemies as such. I've had the clashes with some riders when we putting each other off, but that's racing.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I've got another legend that's come on here, Mr.
Billy
Billy
Hamill,
Hamill.
how are
How's it
you?
going? Way. He's put, does Brian remember the car ride I took with him after 92 Team Cup in Kumala? Such a cool dude.
Yeah. I remember that. We went to Slanger up the day after for a league meeting, I think. Yeah, I remember that.
Very nice, very nice. I'm trying to coax Billy onto one of these as well. Oh, trying to get all the boys on, and I. Cool memories. Oh, I've got another. Paul Hurry's just come on as well. Oh, it's gone. There you go, Paul Hurry. How's it going, Paul?
How are you,
Evening,
Paul?
me and Mr. Brian Karger. Ask him about Ivan's van on the Northern Tour with Bo Peterson was driving it. Brian's a legend and been a big part of Korea.
Yeah, that van could tell you a lot of stories, especially when Bo was driving.
Oh, it's like that, was it?
I can't exactly remember which Northern Tour he's on about, but I do remember that sometimes we was going a bit crazy in that van. It's a big Chevy V8 van, and Bo wasn't scared. He was putting the throttle down. So
All the lads back then sort of were flat out in the cars the whole time, weren't they?
yeah, I think it was pretty normal in them days.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you can't do it. You take your license today, but
Yeah, and I'm with you.
yeah, it's good.
Oh,
Good to speak to Paul again. I've obviously done some. I was riding with him when he was only 15, 16 years old in Essex, and then after that, I started doing some engines for him. So I've known him for a long, long time.
he's put when the wheel come off of it.
Yeah, I wasn't in the van then. I remember they lost the wheel on the
Good
M1, but I was.
Wow.
Thank God I wasn't in the van at the time. I was driving in another van.
Oh god, Roscoe's just put he couldn't turn left when he first come to England, especially at Oxford.
I don't know how, but I did manage to go around the first and second corner at Oxford in my first race, but coming down the back straight into the third corner, I didn't turn at all. I went straight on the top track.
Straight into the pits tunnel.
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, the tracks were a lot different to what we used to in Denmark, and they were pretty slick over here, still are. And then you come to Oxford, especially in them days, and Hans Nielsen liked a bit of grip, so it was completely different to what I was used to.
So it was obviously like so much throttle control then, wasn't there?
Yeah.
They would like just take off.
Yeah.
As soon as you shut off a bit, gripping, just take off. Someone's put there no name on this one, but they put, did you enjoy speedway or long track the most?
Well, speedway's been a living for me. The long track was just at the end of my career when I just wanted to try long track, but I really, really enjoyed the long track time. It's a more relaxed thing, you know. There's not so much stress in the pit, and you can just go out. You're on your own. Like you're not riding for teams. You can just go out and do whatever you want. But I really enjoyed it. It's fast, and it was a good experience. I wish I'd done it a little bit earlier, but I did Polish League, so it clashed with Sunday's long track meetings in Germany. So for me, that was, I had to go to Poland and earn a living, and the long track at the time when I started wasn't very good paid, so it was just a bit of fun. But I really enjoyed it.
I've got a couple of cool pics actually. I just remember that Billy's on, so I was just trying to look to see where they were, see if I can put them up. There's one, I think.
Yeah,
Looks
yeah.
like you're squashed in between.
Billy,
is that Greg and Billy? I think, isn't it?
Billy and Greg, yeah.
Yeah.
Great picture.
Yeah, that was a nice one. I think that's one as well. By the looks of it.
There's another one.
Is that Greg or is that Greg or is that Billy? I'm not sure. Might be Greg. Both X-side. Hard to see that one.
Yeah.
Right, I've got Phil Alkin here. He's put, "Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Brian, keep any." Well, we've already discussed that. What about any levers, Kevlars, anything like that? Did you keep any of that?
I don't think I have much. It's all up on it boxed up on and off, but I only have a couple of boxes left, so I'm giving it all away. So I don't think I could fit in them today anyway. So
Yeah. I don't know, Brian. You're still looking fit with the weight and all that as well. You must be active and all that. You're always on the go, aren't you?
yeah, I'm still doing some like exercise. I'm doing a bit of cycling just to stay fit and just to get out of the workshop, just get on my bike and do a bit.
Oh, Frank's just said as well that comment, we didn't have the name up, we didn't register it, was apparently that was Kenneth Hansen that asked you about speedway and long tracks. So,
Okay, yeah.
Hi, Kenneth. Hope you're good. Right, what sort of riders was there any riders that you looked up to yourself, you looked up to when you were young in speedway? Was there any top Danes or was there any riders in general that you looked up to when you were young?
I don't know. It's hard to say. You look up to the Danish top riders who was at the time was Hans Nielsen, Eric Gunnarson, Jano, whatever, you know, they were all obviously world class riders. So when I came to England, I looked at them and as my heroes. But there was a lot of other ones. There was it's hard to say again because there were so many good riders, and I didn't have a specific idol that I looked up to, and it was just you try to learn from the best.
What was that like for you then? Obviously, when you raced a lot with Eric and Hans for World Team Cups and test matches, they did a lot then. Did you enjoy that? Was that special to be able to be there, obviously for your country, and then be with them top riders as well?
It's always special to ride for your country, of course. I was actually went to a talk show the other day with Eric, Hans, and Ollie in Denmark, and
Wow.
and yeah, it was good to hear their story of how they raced against each other and grew up together, and I was a little bit the same. They were of course older than me, and I was actually in the meeting when Eric crashed. So that was my first World Cup, so that wasn't nice, but at the time we didn't know how serious it was. So when I was young, so we just carry on, and that's the way it is. It's racing.
Got some cool pictures of you in the Danish colours. You and the
Yeah.
Hans there.
Yeah. Must be Poland, I think. Budgots.
Got a nice one with you with Eric.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the full one there with you, Tommy, and Hans. Not sure what's happened here. I've got a nice.
That was, I think, a test match against Britain in Wolverhampton. I crashed coming out of the second bend, took all the fence down.
Not a good one then.
No, not a good one.
Looks like it's at Pool there. Looks like a Pool in the background.
It could be a semi-final at Pool, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh, young Charlie Gita there as well.
Yeah. Lost to the Swedes again.
I was going to say, that's unusual. What are you doing down there on the third place?
Yeah.
Right, let's see what these guys have. Just see Sam Nicolaison's just come on as well. Let's put hello to you too.
Sam.
Awesome.
I speak to him now and again. He still goes to the speedway in the Super League in Denmark, so I meet up with him now and again.
What's the situation like in Denmark? With like, obviously you've probably heard and seen a lot of the British tracks have been lost over the years. Even Swindon now going to be like 3 years out minimum, potentially coming back. Obviously Oxford's back, which is cool, but a lot going. What's the situation like in Denmark? What's the tracks like over there?
We still have a few tracks. We don't have as many riders as we used to. The number of licenses is going down, I think, every year. But I think it's starting a little bit now again with the small classes. Like we have it like a Pee-wee 50 class, and they are starting to. What happened there? They are starting now to come along again, the young kids, but it's not been good over the last, I think, 5-10 years. There's been less and less of the young riders, and that means less coming up to the 500. So, but yeah, we hope and pray that the speedway will survive.
Yeah, we hope so, mate. Hope so. Oxford's coming back, which is good.
Really?
Yeah, they're coming back for the new season. So yeah,
Alan
in the championship, Oxford are coming back. You know, the league below the main one.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, so, yeah, cool. Johansson. What was he was a called? Whatever happened to your friend Alan?
Alan Johansson, I still stay in touch with him. He's got his own business now. He's doing very well for himself, actually. So we still get together now and again. Yeah, we spend a lot of time, especially the early years in England. We not on the track; it was more off the track.
Socialism, was it? Socialism.
Yeah, but he's still a good friend of mine.
Phil's just put, how does the cost of speedway compare to when you were racing?
I don't think it's much different. I know the engines and the stuff is probably more expensive now, but they also earn a lot more money today than what we did. So I think when it's all leveled out, I think you will end up with the same cost and same earnings if you work it out this way. So I don't think it's not going crazy, the cost of speedway. I don't think so.
Adam Winslet, what was the average earnings a year when you were racing?
I can't remember that. It depends how many points you're scoring.
That's very true. It was a lot of it. Was a lot of it more then, Brian? Was it more on just points as well? Or did you guys have start money back then in sort of 80s, 90s in that era as well? Or how did that all work back then?
A lot of my earnings my contracts was based on points money. I didn't have any sign-ons, not much. I had a little bit now and again in some clubs, but I just like the points money because then you I don't know, as you seem more hungry to go out and earn your money, and if you have a good night, you benefit from it.
Yeah, makes sense, doesn't it? I was going to say, was there any certain bikes and engines that you had like favourite engines over the years? A lot of the riders do that. They have favourite engines, and I've heard a lot of them have like nicknames for engines and things like that. Obviously, you know all about that in your job now.
I had Madonna and Pamela.
Did you?
Yeah.
Love that.
I had two Jawas in '88, and in '98, and I had a pretty good season. I won the Intercontinental final. I won the Danish Championship. And my Jawa then was Pamela, and her sister was Madonna.
I love that.
I had three other ones, but they were shit.
What were they called?
I can't remember.
Roscoe? Was they called Roscoe?
Roscoe. No, I can't remember.
Oh, brilliant! So, what was the engines that were good? What was the names of the engines good at Swindon? Did you have a Swindon one?
I can't remember having a nickname for my Swindon engines. I think I was on GMs most of the time at Swindon. So, but what happened there?
Oh, I love that. So what? Obviously, a lot of personally myself and a lot of the people that I get on and everything was obviously from the British side of things. So obviously, questions about the British League. But what were your sort of tracks that you liked in the British League, and were there any tracks you didn't like in the British League?
I really liked I think it was a good racetrack, but it was good for everybody. So it was harder to score points. Obviously, Arena Essex was a very good home advantage track. So, but it wasn't particularly funny to ride because it was so small, no speed. But if you had your good bike set up for it, it was easy to score points. So in that way, I liked Arena Essex because it meant good points and good money.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna, yeah. It was a very trick track, wasn't it? And not a lot of people in it, like you said, it's good for the home guys when you got it down because a lot of the guys didn't particularly like it.
everybody hated the place apart from
Yeah,
the home. But
I was
Swindon
being
was a
nice.
place where I think a lot of the most guys used to like Swindon, so they enjoyed coming to Swindon. Same like Coventry. Coventry was a good racetrack, a fast track, but it was hard to score points there.
I've just got a couple of. Yeah, there we go.
Kentry with hammers.
Yes, nice. That was one of you and Mr. Mockridge there.
Margot, legend.
Yeah, I loved him. He came to Swindon as well. Was cool as well later on.
Yeah.
So when you because I remember the season. I'm sure it was a season you ended up. I don't know if that's a finger up there or just a number one. I'm not sure what.
I think it's number one. It was present practice at Arena Essex.
Okay, we'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. So when you went to, because I remember you were at Swindon. I swear that was the season you were captain. And then I think didn't Swindon actually release you then? Then you went to Reno. Is that right?
Yes. I crashed at. I had a pretty shit. I broke my leg the year before, and when I came back, it must have been 1990. Yeah. I had a tough start to the season, obviously coming back from a serious injury, and the team was losing, and they was putting pressure on the riders, of course. So we went to we had an away meeting at Poole, and I knew I had to score points, and I probably tried a little bit too hard, and I crashed again and broke my shoulder, and that was the end of Swindon for this time. So they signed Andy Smith, and I was out for a month, but then Arena Essex needed a rider, so I went there.
It actually all sort of worked out, didn't it? Because I think you actually went on and won the league and cup as well? Sure,
you promoted to British League, and I think Swindon did they get relegated?
Yeah.
I think
was that when they brought that in? Yeah, I remember they were bringing the relegation in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you actually went there. I remember. I'm sure you had a 10+ average, and it really went well for you, obviously.
Yeah, it was. Like I said earlier, it was a good home track, and it just gave me a little bit of a boost, a little bit of confidence to go there and score points again, and it helped me a big time.
I've got a Carl Lid on YouTube here. Has just come on. He's put, did you have any say with GM or Jawa to improve their units, or anything that you can think that could do better?
Yeah, I think Jawa is more or less history here. I don't think so many riders are using Jawas anymore, especially not over. I don't know in England, but here now in Denmark and Poland, everybody's on GMs. GMs is bringing out have done the new NX engine, which I think is a lot better, but we still need to work on it to improve the power. We're pretty close to the old one, but it's a better engine. I think it will last better, and so we're still working.
I suppose it's just a continuous thing. You guys are always trying to improve everything, setups, all that sort of stuff. Seems to be a lot more on setups now with the riders, and that's all you hear them talking about is setups.
Setups is about making the engine so it suits the rider and the track, but the power, you still need the power.
A cheeky little one on your side there, I gather. I'm pinching these pictures off. I think I got you at work there. Is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Nice one there. I'm not sure what engine you got there. Is that the same? Is it? Nice one there.
This is the new NX engine I was talking about.
Ah, right, is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
I did one for Eric. Eric has built a brand new long track bike to lend out to some Danish boys who wants to give it a go, or just to go out and test. So he's found some sponsors to build this bike, and I did the engine for him. So we're hoping some good Danish boy will come along and try the long track, and maybe they can put a team together for a long track team. World Championship. That's the plans anyway.
I've got Charlie Wood here. It's put, I use a 221 250cc Tornado Jawa on the speedway, and they are very smooth.
Yeah, I don't do much work on the Jawas, to be honest. I have worked a little bit on the 250 Jawas, but I just found I've had too many problems, and the GMs are less hassle, and they're fast too, and they're just easier to work on. So I stick to the GMs at the moment.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. This is a good question. I had this down as well, Simon. A one-off world final, all the GPs. What was your thoughts on that? I know you. I'm sure you did a one-off world final, and I know you did the GPs as well. What was your personal thoughts of it now as well?
I think the GPs is great. You know, I think the setup with the GP and the racing is fantastic. I'm in favor of the GPs. But for a rider's point of view, if you're not in the top 6, top 8, and in with among the points, you know, then it's a lot of effort for not a lot of money. So this is. I remember that when I was in the GPs, I had an okay first year. Then the second year, I swapped to a new engine called Masick. It was some Jawa boys that started up doing engines, and they were called Masicks, and we just couldn't get them going. And so I actually did 6 GPs, and I was shit, actually pretty shit. And it was a lot of work and a lot of money I put into it, and got nothing out of it apart from stress, you know. So in that way, I would have loved just a one-off world final in them days. But
yeah. There's Billy actually. There's Billy on the outside.
6 times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's like a difficult thing, isn't it? Because like you said, you could sort of maybe have an excellent one-off night and win it. But obviously there was a lot of pressure behind that as well, a lot of nerves and a lot of pressure on the fact that it was just 5 rides and things like that as well. So where a GP, you could have maybe an okayish one and still be all right.
Yeah. And like Ollie said on that talk show the other day, he said if you didn't win the world final, you had to wait 12 months for the next one.
Yes, that's true. That's true as well. But it was a big build-up for it.
You got a few chances to make up for it if you have a bad round. So I'm a favour of the GPs. I think they're fantastic, and the racing is good. And yeah, I in that way, I think it's a lot more professional now than it was in the one-off world final days.
I've got Andy Stone on YouTube. It's just put, remember Brian at Arena, good rider. What do you think of the Speedway bikes, electric? Is he? E-Speedway bikes?
It's actually a friend of mine who's building the e-bikes in Denmark now.
Okay.
Mikkel Ries, his name is. I think I'm not a fan of it, but I think it's the way it's going to be, you know, with the cars are getting electric and the bikes. I think we can see a way out of it, you know. That's what the FIM wants. They want electric bikes for boys, small kids who's going out just practicing and playing. It's fantastic because they have no noise. They can go any day, any time. You don't have any hassle with engines or maintenance or nothing. You just plug it in and charge the battery up, and away you go again. So in that way, I think it's fantastic. But for racing, as a professional racing, for example, in the Super League or the GPs on electric bikes, I don't think that'll be good. You know, it's if you compare it to Formula One, if you see a Formula One car come down 200 miles an hour with no noise, you know, it'll be strange. You know, it won't be the same.
Yeah, very strange.
I think Speedway would be the same.
Yeah. Carry on, Brian. Sorry. Oh, disappeared. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I don't think. I don't like the thought of that either. No noise.
Nah. But I don't think we can get away around it. You know, the FIM wants to go this way, obviously, because they have pressure from the governments everywhere about the noise, and they're closing tracks now all over the world, you know, because of noise. So, and I think motocross people have the same problem. So
they're doing. I think Honda are looking at doing the motocross bikes like that as well, and so they are definitely looking at it that way as well.
Well, KTM's done it for some years now.
Yeah. Yeah, so it could be. I saw a couple of. There was an electric car went past me, and I literally didn't even know it went past me. And I sort of did that, like, Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
You get run over and you wouldn't know anything about it.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Right, I got Daryl Notley here. Just put hello, Brian. You did engines for Lee Adams. Did he use your engines just for the GPs?
I did some engines for Lee end of his career, and I think he used them most places. I don't know whether he used them in England, but I know he used them in the GPs and in Poland. Yeah, I've done a fair bit for Lee.
There you go, very good. Right, I've got a long message here from Stuart and Adele Baker here. It says, Brian, who was your hardest opposition you raced during your British League days? I'm sure there's a lot of them. How good was Hans, mate? I was at Monmore Green one night during the 80s. I think Jan Steckman was at Wolves at the time, but injured at the time. I was in the bar one night. Jan was watching too. Oxford was riding this night. Hans missed the gate, and with no effort and ease passed his Oxford teammate. Then the two riders with ease and made it look so easy. Possibly Sarah Malenko. Jan turned around and said it was taking like candy from a baby.
Yeah,
Those guys.
on his days, Hans was fast and he was good, but he was also very, very professional, and I think he wanted it bad. You know, he did everything possibly what he could, you know, to become a top rider, and he's worked hard for it. So you got to take your hat off for that.
So, Ashley Holloway, Ashtec.
Aztec, how are you?
When he used to turn up, he was my favourite Swindon rider.
I'm probably still his favourite rider, am I? He's disappointing me now.
When he used to turn up, he was my favourite one. Oh, I love it. Love that, Ash.
I did at the end of my career. I did miss some meetings due to
That's probably what he's going on about.
injuries and stuff. Missed a couple of planes and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's put a few winks on the end, so we'll gather he's having a jest, hopefully. Right, I got Phil has put what happened to the, I want to pronounce that right. Is it Gerhard engines a few years ago? Why didn't they take off? I remember that.
Yeah, I was. Marcel is a good friend of mine. I think the setup he had. Me and Ashley actually went to the factory some years back. The Gerhard engine is made in the Suter factory, and they're a big company, and they have all the machines. So they it's weird why they didn't make it work. I think Marcel made one big mistake, and that was he wanted to do everything himself instead of bringing in some other tuners to work with him. Not saying that he's not able of doing it himself, but it would have been nice for him to have somebody to work with him, because Eskil Suter, who owns the Suter factory, he's not a speedway guy, he's a road racing guy. He obviously knows a lot about engines, but not about speedway. I think it could have been a good engine, but I don't know why. You know, it doesn't seem like people are using them anymore. I haven't seen any for the last year or so, but it was a shame actually, because we need some more engines on the market, I think.
I've got Alex Dean here. I know he's a big Swindon Robins fan. Hi, Alex. Hope you're good. He's put, who is the best promoter you rode for?
It's got to be Peter, who brought me back to Swindon in '96. Peter Toogood. He was a fantastic guy. He always said to all of us, the speedway riders should be paid a lot more money, but I can't afford it. But no, he was a great guy.
Roscoe's put, Ash, you're bad. He's your mentor.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly that. Right, I've got Neil Burrows here on YouTube. He's put, hi, Brian. He's reminiscing of some memories here. He's put 1991 Knockout Cup semi-final at Long Eaton against Arena Essex with yourself, Bo Peterson and Andy Galvin, etc. Arena were formidable, but us invaders almost beat the Goliath, a Station Road classic.
Yeah, I can't. Sorry, I can't remember this particular meeting, but we had a strong team at Arena, and we won
Mm,
more or less everything that year. So it was a fantastic year. Great,
it's nice
great
that he
times.
still remembers it as well. That's really cool. Got another one, Colin Richardson. Yo, Colin.
How are you,
He's
Colin?
put, he's put evening, Brian. Looking good, mate. Are you enjoying tuning now? Is it getting harder to find the extra bit for the guys to work with as technology is improving?
Yeah, it's like in any other business. It goes up and down, and if you go 10 years back, I was doing for a lot of the GP boys. Now I'm doing for none of them. It's going up and down. I haven't done much to try and bring in or work for some GP boys. I'm been pretty busy, and I'm happy what I'm doing. But we're always looking for to improve engines and make more power. But I also know it takes a lot of time if you have to go with the top boys, go testing with them. You have to be there with them, and I've been there, I've done that. I need to work from home now and relax a little bit. But I've enjoyed it, and I still enjoy doing engines, and I still enjoy testing. I have a dyno where I test obviously different things, and I help a lot of young boys in Denmark. So it's not getting any easier, but I still enjoy it.
So it's obviously a big commitment when you got to go off with the GP guys and all the travelling and all the time, like you said.
I think you have to, if you want to do it proper, you have to be there with them and help them out and obviously do testing with them. And it's not easy. It's a lot of work. Ask Ashley about that.
Yeah, Ashley, next. I'm not sure who that is. They've not put their name up on the thing. What do you think about the new Fleming engine?
Not much because I haven't seen it, but I know it's just a copy of the GM, so I can't say too much about it other than
Okay.
that. But
Yeah, we'll leave that one.
yeah.
I was going to ask you as well. Did you have any weird superstitions or any superstitions at all when you were racing? Did you have any things you had to do?
I
Or
think everybody has some crazy
yeah,
things that they have to do. Or it's I used to have my special gloves and my special goggles and all that shit. It probably didn't
yeah,
work, but it did for me. But what
yeah.
it's like. But I don't think I was too special in that way. You have to go out and do the job, do what you can do.
Right, I got Rich Thomas here on YouTube. But how did Brian get on with Jimmy Nielsen?
Yeah, I knew that'd come up
I did have a
because
question. I did have a
we
question about this, but
we did have some things going on at sometimes, but
yeah.
I think it helped us a little bit, both of us,
Mm.
because we were both young. He was in Swindon a year earlier than me, but we were young and wanted to be top guys in the Swindon team, and so there's a little bit of a individual fight between us just to be the best in the team, and it helped us, both of us. I have no problems with him. We still talking now and again, like me and Jimmy, so we have no problems today. But at the time, I know we had some some tough times going on, but that's racing.
Yeah.
Especially when when he
There's a
went
nice
away,
one.
and
There's a nice one. Look, he's even looking for you. There's a
he
nice
was
one.
he was looking for me. That's when I came back to Swindon. Yeah, yeah. That's when we become friends again.
Beautiful. I remember. Pretty sure it was definitely like needle going on when you went to Arena and then come back to Swindon. Because I remember all
Exactly,
that.
exactly.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
again, we were young and we wanted to be like the
yeah.
same
Of
when
course you did.
we was
Yeah, of
racing
course you did.
against the other Danes. We wanted to beat each other. It's
People
always
loved it.
pretty.
Obviously, crowd loved it.
It's pretty normal, I think.
Luckily, my missus just opened the door because sometimes if they don't click on this link in the post, sometimes their name don't come up. And my missus just put a picture of my phone through the door, and that's Eric Gunderson saying, "I like your hairstyle, Karger."
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, classic.
It's all gone.
Thanks for that, Eric, and awesome to get you on. All these guys are coming on tonight. It's very cool. Must have a big rider on tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I got Paul's dad, Graham Hurry, as well.
Graham,
Hi,
how
Graham.
are you?
Top man is Brian. Helped Paul in his first year at Arena and done some super engines for him over the years. long track, grass track, and speedway.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, Paul,
Cool.
actually, sorry, Graham. Graham's a great guy, you know. He's obviously, I've known him since I came to Arena Essex, and he was always with Paul. And like I said, I did Paul's engines. Paul went on to win the European Grass Track Championship, so he's had a fantastic career on the long track and grass track.
Roscoe just put, well, I've learned something about you and Jimmy and shocked.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Chris Simpson's put, which young Dane did you see being a potential world champion in the future? What's your thoughts on Jason Jorgensen and Bastian Pedersen and their futures in the sport? Will they be good as their dads?
Well, you never know. I can say one thing, that Jason Jorgensen had a pretty bad crash earlier this year, and I'm not sure he's going to ride again. He broke his hips and legs, and he got smashed up pretty bad. So I spoke to JJ the day the GP, the Danish GP in Voyens, and Jason, and as it is now, it doesn't look like he's going to ride again. But you never know. I do Bastian's engines, Bastian Petersen. I work with him. I've done his engines on the 250.
Yep.
And obviously know Ronnie Pedersen pretty good. He's a fantastic rider, and I think he's got everything it takes to become a top rider. Whether he's going to win some or win world championships, you never know. But he's got what it takes, and he's definitely one to look out for in the future.
I've just got on here. Rich Thomas has also asked about about Swedes Peter Narlin, I presume that's Richard Halsayan, and Eric Stenland, I believe that's probably is.
Yeah. What about them? What about the other Swedes?
Oh, I think he's asking if you got on with him. I presume that's what he's asking.
Obviously, Narlin is a pretty good friend of mine, and still is. He always has been. We known each other since the under 21 days, and he's Richard Helsen. I haven't spoken to since the Swindon days. He was a fantastic guy, great guy, but I haven't seen him for a long time. Same with Eric Stenland. Haven't had much to do with him. I think he was commentator for one of the Swedish TV, some of the GP. So I did meet him, but I haven't seen him for a long time.
Oh, right, interesting. I've got some. Obviously, your memories. You had a hell of a lot of years at Swindon Robins. Obviously, you're a well-known legend at Swindon Robins with fans like myself. Got loads of pictures I'll bring up while you're talking about it. But I mean, like your memories, you must have so many good memories of being at Swindon over the years. You had some good teams as well, some very good teams.
Yeah, but it's not only the racing; it's also the people around. Roscoe, Malcolm, well, everybody in Swindon. I spend a lot of time with. I've had a fantastic time. I always class it as my second home. I spend a lot of time, and I had some really good times in Swindon.
Some nice pictures going up.
They taught me all the bad things too, Roscoe.
I bet they did. they said it was you teaching them.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got to love a rosette, Bri.
Fantastic.
Oh, I love it. I've got some nice pictures. Mitch Shearer. What was Mitch Shearer like? I know he was quite a character. I have spoke to him as well and trying to get him on, but yeah, I remember Mitch quite well as well.
He's I didn't speak much to him, to be honest. And was it 87 he came to Swindon? I think it was 87.
Yeah, around that. 80, yeah, maybe around that. Yeah.
I was still young, and he was one of the older guys, and he was. I don't remember much from his. I know he was a fantastic rider. He scored a lot of points for us. He liked the bar too.
Did he? Where did he put it all?
Make me a bad person though.
No. Very sociable.
No, Mitch was a good guy, but I haven't spent much time with him, to be honest. Only that 1 year.
Who's that guy? Nice one of you and Roscoe there.
Roscoe.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's kicking at the track that far from the from the inside line, because he never went that wide.
Yeah, he's going to be inside that.
Yeah.
Oh, love it. I got some nice old ones here. I think this was earlier in the 80s, I think, wasn't it? When you first sort of come over that sort of time.
I think there must have been 88.
Yeah. One of you and Connie Iverson, isn't it? Is that?
Connie Iverson, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Good times, some good times.
I rode with Connie Iverson at Atlanta for some years after the Swindon days.
Did you ever get into, because obviously Stenland, I remember, and a few of the other guys, did you ever have a go at the old ice racing? Did you ever have a go at that?
I tried one ice bike on a frozen lake in Denmark some years back.
Yeah.
The under 21 Danish team manager had one, and he was riding a bit, and he always said to me when the frost gets out, and the ice is on the lake, I'll give you a call. And I don't know, I must have been drunk, but I said, yeah, just call, I'll give it a go.
How did it go?
One day he rang me up and said it's time.
Oh shit! Yeah. I bet he was like, not ready.
Nah, it was a big lake, and there was no, it was just going round in circles. Totally, completely different from speedway, obviously, but it was good to have it. It was good fun, but I wouldn't want to race against 3 Russians.
No, Jesus, they were mental at it as well.
Yeah.
Can you remember this, Wednesday? Can you remember those? I think that's you on the inside. I think that might be Martin around.
Oh, these race suits, yeah, they were fantastic.
Yeah.
And they were nice.
I bet you've got that hanging up somewhere, aren't you?
I think I threw it out straight after the last meeting.
They look better with the start girls when the start girls are wearing them. They
yeah,
look
exactly.
Better.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't they have problems with you guys were like sliding on your seats and all that sort of palaver and all that as well? Wasn't it? I think I remember people saying.
I had some other material on my seat because, yeah, I had to sit still on the seat, and if I was sliding on the seat, I couldn't gate. I was all over the place. But
Yeah.
so.
Couple of characters here. I used to Hi Ho Silver was another one of my favourites, and I've had some good chats on here with John Davis as well. How did you get on with those boys? They were characters.
Yeah, very good, very good.
Yeah.
I still speak to John now and again. He's a good friend. Andrew, I saw Andrew at Swindon some years back. He turned up with Troy Pratt. I didn't recognize him for a start, but from what I've heard, is he okay? He's been in hospital or something, hasn't he? Or
yeah, I think I see a post saying about that, and then saying that I think he was okay. So fingers crossed.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I spoke to him, and I think he was sort of going through it at the time when I was asking him to come on. So obviously it was a bit of a bad time, but yeah, hopefully he's all good. Hopefully.
Yeah, fantastic guys.
Love to get him on. Roscoe put twat. Probably when I was saying about who's about you on the inside.
Yeah, it's true though, isn't it?
Yeah. Ashley Holloway's put ask him about the time his dad drove from Denmark to Oxford with an engine.
Yeah, he was he did a service for me, and he drove from Denmark to back down to Calais and Dover, and came up to Oxford, and I fitted this engine in, and I warmed it up, and it just sounded strange, it didn't sound right. So I refused to ride it, and he didn't like it. So he was that mad at me that he turned back and went back the same day. He just went back home again.
Oh dear, that didn't go down well then.
Yeah.
Bit of a trip he did for that for you.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. I've got a question here. Was what riders were your sort of favourite to team ride with that you sort of connected up well with team riding over the years? Was there any that you clicked with, on the old team riding?
I can't remember that, to be honest. Some of them, I know Jimmy was always hard to team ride because he was so fast, when he would race you when you was on the outside of him. So I remember when you had Jimmy on your ass, had to go flat out.
Yeah.
But he was safe, of course. So that was one good thing.
I
But
remember a lot of 5-1s from you guys in the sort of Heat 15. I remember at that sort of period later on in Swindon. I remember
yeah.
boys were very good with the.
But no, I think in England you learn how to team ride. In Denmark, nobody had, when I came over, nobody was team riding in Denmark because we was doing 14 tournament racing. So we had none of that. So you had to learn that too. I also remember Phil. I was the first year. I think I came over end of '86, and I was riding team riding a little bit with Phil Crump, and that was at the times where you could choose skate positions. And
Oh yeah.
he was a hard one to team ride with. He was, he was out against three guys when he was with Phil. So.
Yeah, you get moved. Oh yeah, well the days when obviously that was when so obviously when you were young and first come over, I'm pretty sure didn't like the heat leaders or the number ones would get like they would be picking inside or whatever.
I couldn't speak English either, so I just had to wait
Oh
at
Jesus!
the gate and wait for Phil to
Yeah.
choose whatever he wanted to start, and the one that was left over was mine.
It's a hard learning curve when you first start, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then typical later on when you were still racing, then they tell you what gates you got to be on.
Yeah. But it's pretty fair, isn't it?
Yep. Did you actually prefer to be on a team, Brian? Did you prefer to be part of a team structure in the league racing, or did you actually like individual more, or did you like both?
I think I like the team more than the individual. Cause I always did better when I was riding in a good team. Individual meetings was I don't know if I didn't have that little bit extra you need sometimes when you're individual. So I like the team riding, not the team riding, but the team racing, being together as a team, and especially when you're in a good team. Like Roscoe is always good for the team spirit, and you need somebody like him. So I think we had a good time. Yeah.
So you said something nice, like Roscoe. He said that you were good for the team spirit.
Yeah, I had to make up for the other thing I said earlier.
He's put Karger can talk. He loved the curb a fair bit.
Yeah.
Depends who you dropped it on, eh? Depends who you got to drop it on. Phil's put, when was the last time Brian rode a speedway bike? I know you did quite a fair bit, didn't you? Still, like you used to. I see you at Swindon. You come to, I think, Broadbanks and maybe Kilby's as well. I know you come back, did a few, and did bloody well as well. I remember.
Yeah, I have been on the bike a couple of years ago, but not racing. Just go out and do a few laps on my own. I haven't done meetings since must be 2006. I think was my last meeting. But yeah, I have no plans of coming back. I can still go out and do 4 laps pretty fast when I'm on my own, and if it's not too grippy. but I don't want to ride against anybody. I've been
a lot of the guys that come back, not mentioning any names, but probably wouldn't fit into Kevlars or leathers.
Yeah.
But I always remember you did. So.
Yeah, my weight is pretty much the same as when I was riding, so I haven't put much weight on. So I can still go out. I was riding with my son Peter. He was riding for Danish Division 1 team, and I did a couple of meetings with him. It's not that many years back. I can't even remember the years, but it was only a couple of meetings in Division 1. But yeah.
How is Peter? Because I forgot about that. Someone put a question down about Peter as well. I did have it written down here as well. How is he? What's he doing now?
He's a car salesman. I think he just found out that he was spending too much time and spent too much money on Speedway, and decided he wasn't, he probably knew he wasn't going to go any better or be any better than what he was, and decided to call it a day and then find a proper job. But he's happy. He's still in Speedway. He does a little bit of commentating on TV. There's an amateur guy in Denmark who puts it on like live stream on television, and he does some amateur or just some commentating on that. Him and Emil Grunder.
Oh right, yeah.
So they're doing it
They
together.
have a bit of fun then. They have some fun.
Yeah.
I see you online. I don't know if you still do that. I see you were quite into the bike racing. Is this how you keep your fitness and all that as well?
Yeah, this is from a race
Yeah.
in the Pyrenees in 2000.
Wow.
Was it 2019? 2 years ago.
Bloody hell. So you like that a lot?
Yeah, I did. This race actually took over 10 hours. It was 165 Ks and climbing 5,500 meters. So it was a hard day on the office.
Do you like? Was that part of the? Did you just like that with the fitness thing as well, or did you just like the bike riding, or what did you? What give you the buzz
It,
with that?
yeah, I like the bike riding, but I always like to. I always have done, believe it or not, but I always have done a fair bit of fitness, especially in the winter time. And I like to put a little bit of pressure on myself, like just a race like this. I knew it was going to be hard. I've done one this year too in September in the French Alps, 8.5 hours in the Alps. So I just like the challenge, to go and how far can you go, and another thing is when you do enter them races, you have to do a bit of training to be able to do it. So it always also puts a bit of pressure on yourself to do the fitness training, because it's easier to it's easy to look up in the sky and say, oh, the weather's not too nice, I'll stay at home today, but you're lying. Well, Roscoe never did anything, but I actually did.
No,
I
no.
probably didn't do anything in the speedway season because I was too
Yeah,
busy. Like I said earlier, I was doing
yeah.
120 meetings, so I
Mm.
don't think I needed to do any fitness training in the season. But I always did in the off season. Like I always did motocross. I played football. I played badminton. I went to the gym. So, but yeah, I like to stay fit.
Hopefully, Roscoe gets his. I know he had his knee sorted out. Hopefully, might be able to get him out in my reunion motocross meeting. He was supposed to ride in September, but he had his knee done, so he's too busy drinking lager. He's put. He rides it off quick though on the bike though, Roscoe. Soon gets rid of that. Soon gets rid of that. Right, I got Simon here has put, did Brian enjoy scraping the fence at Exeter?
I didn't like the fence too much at Exeter.
No,
I
keep
think I've
reading
only
that.
been there, I can't remember, 2 or 3 times. I did okay there, but it's not one of my favorite tracks. I knew I had to stay off the fence.
Yes, for sure. Scary
Horrible
place,
place,
isn't
to
it?
be honest.
Scary place. Scary place.
Scary place.
I'm going to rack your brain, but this might rack your brain. But I've put, what has been your most memorable race or meeting? And why does it still stick in your memory?
I don't know. There's been some. I won some Danish championships, and won the Intercontinental finals a couple of times, and I probably think the Intercontinental final at Voyens was probably one that sticks out the most. And the same year I won the Danish championship in '98. I had a good season. It was on, of course, on Madonna and Pamela on the 2 Jawa engines.
Makes sense.
Couldn't it? Yeah. I always enjoyed riding at Voyens, so yeah, just
Is that one of your
it's
favourite
hard to.
tracks in Denmark, Voyens?
Sorry.
Is that one of your favourite tracks in Denmark?
Well, it has to be because I've always done well there. I like most tracks, but I've always done pretty well at Voyens. So apart from the GP, but, so
Nice one there. So what's that PK I had on? I've spoke
PK,
to
yeah,
both of these guys. I spoke to both of these guys on here. It was pretty cool as well.
top
Some
two
good mem-
qualified for the GPs, and me and PK was in a runoff for first, so that was nice. Both qualified.
Beautiful. Just
Pissed down,
looking at some of these.
pissed down with rain all night
Did it?
most, but yeah, it was Voyens.
There's the Merry Christmas picture for everyone. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
What was that for then? Was that for some media, or what was that?
I can't remember. It was we just took the picture for fun, and I actually made some Christmas cards and sent them out to a few people.
Did you? Oh, I love that. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Jesus, what are they all going to expect this year?
Yeah.
I got quite an old one here. Here we go.
Yeah. That's me on the left.
Yeah, on the far, left there.
On the far left. That was my very first year.
Wow.
The guy second next to me, he's got Handback's older brother.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Wow.
83. This is from.
I don't remember 83. I'm joking.
When I had hair.
Yeah, exactly.
I must have been only 15 or 16 on this photo.
Yeah.
Pretty young.
That's a nice one. I found that one. Don't know what that was for, Brian's on the top there.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it from
Got the trophy
Poland
in there.
somewhere?
Sure, yeah. Not sure what that one's from.
Berlin.
What were them days in the Swedish league like? Did you enjoy riding in Sweden?
Well, I knew most of the Swedish clubs and the tracks and obviously also a lot of the riders. So yes, I did like Sweden. It was pretty easy for me. It's only across the bridge and you're there. So, and I did many years I really enjoyed riding in Sweden.
Sure what that is.
You got Connie Iverson sitting on the bike there, and his brother Klaas on the other one.
Oh, I didn't recognise Connie on there like that. Is that him in the yellow?
He's him in yellow, yeah, and Klaas
Yeah,
is the other one.
Didn't even recognise him on that one. Still remembered him in the old blue leathers at Swindon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, I got Ian Pellin. Ian Pellin here has put, did Brian enjoy racing at Arlington, Eastbourne, and did he ever have run-ins with Bob Ducott?
No. I didn't enjoy Eastbourne that much. Difficult track to go to, difficult track to ride, and it was difficult to score points there because I had a strong team. But I do remember, if you want to race, you had to be aware of Bob coming out on the track with the tractor just in front of you. He was straight in front of you going into and you come pretty hard into the first corner over the finish line, and then you see Bob there just drive the tractor straight out in front of you. I remember that.
Jesus. Yeah, he was a bit of a character as well, wasn't he, Bob?
Yeah.
He's cool. I was going to ask you as well. Obviously, later on you had a spell as well at Bellevue. Did you enjoy that?
It turned out in my second year on the GPs, when I was using these bloody Massic engines, I had a tough year, and I didn't ride in England at the time, and halfway through the season, I think we did a GP in Coventry. And I decided to go back to England because I needed more meetings. I needed to race, and so I went to Bellevue. Yeah, it was John Perrin. He was the promoter, so everybody knows Perrin.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah,
but, he was okay. You know, he's you had to argue every week to get your money, but apart from that,
yeah, I was going to say.
But apart from that, you know, I got on with him pretty good, so I had no problems.
What did you think of that track down there? I'm presuming you would have preferred the new one they're on now.
Obviously haven't ridden the new one, but it's
No. Yeah.
It looks, when I've seen them on television, the racing looks fantastic. The old one was hard to ride. It was hard track, I think, to score points on. I didn't particularly like it, but yeah, you had to get on with it.
Did you guys did you like that sort of thing? Obviously, I presumed you guys always looked at the Speedway Star and a few press things and all that. Did you like? Was it cool for you guys to see yourself on the front of the magazines and things like that, or did it not? Did you not care about all that, or?
Nah, I don't think I take too much notice of that. I probably did this start I've done on there. It's probably just a show start for the photographer.
Isn't it good, isn't it?
Yeah, that must be from the Intercontinental final in Norway, I think. This one.
Yeah. I'm glad. I suspect all the riders from when they were racing then were glad there was no the camera phones and videos around then.
Yeah, always.
to catch
And
it all going on.
There was no Facebook in them days. Saying fuck.
Yeah.
Christ for that.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. Got Phil Alkin put. Did Brian like the Stoke track? Did you race the Stoke track?
The Stoke track. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only been there, I think, 2 or 3 times. Yeah, it's a good track. It was very, very slick when I was there, but I didn't mind the slick tracks. You just make the start and you go. So I didn't mind it.
Roscoe just said everyone raves about the Bellevue, about the new Bellevue, but I was going to ask you about that. But he's put the Swindon trackers is good. The new Swindon trackers is good. Ask the riders. Have you seen that where they had obviously changed all the first corner, brought it all in, and that? Have you seen the new shape setup of it?
I haven't been there since, but I've seen it on photos. They've shortened it a little bit, but I haven't been there and I haven't spoke to anybody, so I don't know what it's. I really like the old track that when I was riding because it was fast and you come into the first corner so fast. But obviously now it's been shorter, so that must be different now.
Yeah, then the racing did. To be fair, the racing was very good as well when they moved the track in a little bit and sort of it's quite wide as well. So it was very good actually. That's pretty much what Roscoe is pretty much saying. Yeah. Right, Colin Richardson's saying about the engines there. Massive engines were difficult to get going. What was the problem with them? Lee was sponsored with them when he was at Coventry and gave up. What's up with those GM-NX? Why is no one using them?
Yeah, regarding the Messick engines, we never really found out what the problem was, but we changed everything because they fit the parts. You could take whatever part on a Messick engine or from a Jawa engine and fit into a Messick engine. So we tried to put the cylinder head on, the cylinder, everything. The inside was Jawa, but we never changed the cases. So I think it's something to do with the cases. Wasn't the material work a little bit different, so it was like they had a break on. They didn't rev, but I just spent too much time. I was also sponsored with them, but I made a big mistake and I stayed with them for too long time. I remember Lee used them and I spoke to him about it, and he said after 1 month, he went back to what he had. I stuck with him for 3 or 4 months, and it was half the season gone for me. Big mistake, but. That's the way it goes.
Was there any? Go on.
The NX engine, I think people will start to use them, but again, they probably a little bit afraid to try new stuff if they're happy with what they have. But when I test on a dyno, I see the power is nearly there. It's nearly the same like the old one, and the guys that I speak to are pretty happy. But you need somebody to go out and win GPs before people start to buy them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. True story. Well, like you said, they don't really want to risk changing too much if something's going on. Right?
No, and the top riders in Poland, they have so much pressure on them from the promoters and the clubs that they're too afraid to try something, because if they try new engines and they don't perform, they get sacked or they're not in the team next week. So.
Yeah.
What's
your thoughts on all that as well? Because obviously, like Poland's the number one now in the speedway. Obviously, they sort of limit the riders from only riding in one of the league and things like that, which has obviously affected the Swedish, Danish, and English league. But what's your thoughts on it?
I don't know. I don't know whether to like it or not, because Now they're making a new under 24 league next year for like an international under 24 league, and I know there's a few Danish riders who's already signed for clubs there. But it also, I think I don't like the idea that they're taking over every speedway, because they kind of make their own rules in Poland, and if you don't do what you're told, you're out, and then you have nothing. So I think as a young rider, they have to be careful what they do. And I still say to a lot of them, if you get the chance, go to England, because you will end up doing 30, 40 meetings. If you go to Poland, you might be doing 2 and you might be doing 20. You never know. You can't make plans. You can't do. So it's difficult. But I know for the top boys, obviously they make a lot of money. So Poland is the place to be, 100%.
Very cutthroat, isn't it, basically?
Yes, it is.
What's your thoughts? Did you have any regrets from your career at all?
Many.
Don't say Swindon.
No, I don't think I have too many. If I had one, it was like I said earlier. I stayed with the Mexicans. I did the GP in 1999, and I had a fairly okay season, and I trained very, very hard in the winter time. Fitness training. I lost a lot of weight, and I thought 2000 was going to be my year, and then I decided to use them bloody Massic engines, and that was, and I should have just chucked them in the bin after 2 weeks. I actually went to Poland to do testing with them, and I see 3 engines in one day. So from then I should have just gone back to what I knew was working, but I stuck with them too long. And this is one thing I do regret. But apart from that, I've had a fantastic career. I can't, I've done what I like to do, and so I don't really have any regrets in that way.
Was there any teams in the British League that you nearly signed for that didn't in the end, or anything like that? Was there any teams?
Not really. When I finished at Bellevue, I knew my career was at the end, and so I did some years in between where I didn't ride in England. I just did Danish, Swedish, Polish league, and worked from home. And when I finished, I didn't want to go back to England after I finished with Bellevue, because I was doing a little bit of long track also, and I was starting to do engines, so I was getting pretty busy. So I had no time for England. But I've had a fantastic time. I really enjoyed riding in England, but I was just running out of time.
Is there any other sports you enjoy? I know you've obviously liked the cycling, but is there any other sports you enjoy watching? Or
well, I do follow the Formula One now and again, but I'm getting fed up with the Mercedes being too fast. So it's a bit on up. It's been exciting the last couple of races, but I'm a Ferrari guy, so we haven't had much success lately. So
no, do like the Ferraris. Yeah, I prefer them to pass on the track than in the pits or anything like that. It's not cool.
Yeah,
I do like that sort of stuff. Did you obviously you keep an eye on the sport now? Obviously you're in the sport as well. Is there riders out there that if you watch them racing that excite you to watch, that you like watching them race? Is there any guys out there that make you think, bloody hell?
Well, I have to say, Bartosz Marslik is absolutely fantastic rider to watch. I know some guys say he's dangerous, but I don't think he is. I think he's pretty much in control of what he's doing, but he just looks at the way he's racing the bike and just makes it look, he makes him look so much faster than everybody else. I know he's not much faster than Lagute, he's pretty much the same at the moment, but he's a fantastic rider. He can gate, he can come from the back, he's got everything. I think he's a really, really good guy.
Because you didn't used to see many riders sort of maybe in the sort of 80s, 90s era. I think maybe Halcyon, but getting the old leg out and getting all round on the bike. Do they do that? Do you think they do that to get traction on the bike, or is that just?
It's just the way they put the weight on the bike. If you take the weight on the footrest, you put it on the seat instead. But I don't like when they take the leg up in the air, because if they hit something or the bike starts to lift, it takes a little bit, maybe just a half a second longer before you're in control again. And I don't like that, but this is that's what they do today. It looks cool anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say it's a bit more show as well sometimes.
Yeah.
Can you tell us any funny stories?
How long time we got? I could tell you a lot, but I don't think it'll be good to tell it on here.
I was going to say, you're allowed to say. Is there something you're allowed to say?
Yeah. No,
Mr. Neil
we'll keep
Ferguson,
that
the
for later.
photographer. Yeah.
Oh, Neil is my old mechanic.
Yes.
How are you, Neil?
Got a lot of pictures as well from Neil as well over the time as well.
Yeah.
Got some great pictures and all that as well. I was actually going to ask you about that, about mechanics thing. Did you have any good relationships with some guys that did mechanics for you over the years and things like that?
I've had some mechanics, of course. Neil was my first mechanic in England, but it was just like a hobby for me, a part-time thing. When he came with me to the meetings, he didn't do the bikes for me, not much as I can remember. But I did have full-time mechanics too in England, Reagan Pedersen, and he also worked for Jimmy a little bit after I broke my leg. He went on to work for Jimmy. I've had some guys, work for me. Ashley, Ashley was my mechanic when he came to Denmark. He worked for me a little bit in the workshop for I think 6 or 7 years, and he did also some of the long tracks with me.
You taught him everything you know, Abby Bro. Have you taught him everything you know? Have you taught him everything you know?
Exactly.
That's brilliant. Neil says he's good, my friend.
Good to hear.
If I was to ask you, Brian, push you on it, who would you say were the 3 best riders that you ever competed against in your career? Who would you say?
Again, it's hard to say. There's been many, but I always liked Lee Adams because he was so smooth and he was just a fantastic rider. And here we go. Here we're back.
Oh, there we go.
He was a fantastic rider, and it's a shame he never ended up winning the world championship. He was so smooth. He was so consistent over the years, and so I have to class him as he has to be one of the best riders in the world ever, I think. Yeah. There's been a few: Eric Gunnarsson, Hans Nielsen, Tony Ricardson. There's been many of really, really good riders over the years. So it's hard to take or say one is better than the other, but Billy Hamill, Greg Hancock, you name it. There's many.
She's trying to think of all the good riders that have come on now.
and of course Roscoe.
Yeah. I'm surprised he wasn't in your top 3 the first time.
I forgot about him.
Neil's just put, remember our trip to Ipswich when we got in trouble with the police?
Yeah, I do remember that. I didn't speak English, so he had to let us go.
Yeah, I like that one. You can just do that. Don't understand things.
Exactly.
That's always a good one.
That was the first thing I said to Neil. You shut up. You don't say a word.
That's brilliant. Screen's gone. Is it coming back on? Screen's gone. Is it coming back on? Is he gone? Right.
Yeah.
Right, there we go. I've just got a couple more of you before you go. I really appreciate your time, buddy. It's been ace. Quite a few people have been commenting, loving the interview. The team atmosphere with all you Danes, it must have been competitive as well. Was it always smooth sailing? Because there's so many top Danes. The 80s and 90s was crazy.
Yeah.
You guys. So many riders. Was it competitive as well? It must have been difficult because all you guys were at the top of the sport. You're all together as well.
Yeah, I don't remember I had any Danes that I didn't get on with. Obviously, there's some you speak more to than others because you're closer to them. But on the track, I've spent a lot of time with Alan Johansen in my first years because we were starting up together and we was in the under 21 Danish national team together. So we spent a lot of time together. But apart from that, there's been many of the young Danish riders I get on with good over the years, but they're all guys that you want to beat when you're racing against them. I think that's a Danish thing, you know, when you're racing against them in another country, you want to beat each other. So yeah, I think it also makes you stronger.
Yeah. Does even doing like when you sort of go into them races where you do that cycling, is that sort of is that good for you must obviously still got that competitive thing in you? Do you like to compete? Does that sort of like feed that for you doing that?
I think so. Yeah. It's in your it's in your system that you.
That's it, mate. Yeah, definitely. Totally get that. I love that. Last one I'll ask you before I go. We'll just put that just there. Wayne Woolridge just put, I always enjoyed your visits to Wolves. Got a big Harry and Larry with Sam and Co at times.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Obviously, Sam was a fantastic rider. He was fast, and especially at Wolverhampton. He was also a very, very hard rider at times, and I did have my my hard races with him, and he's had me. He's actually. We nearly ended up in a fight at in Essex one night because he had me off again, you know, and that was the third time in a month, you know, that he took me off. So I had to go to him in the
It's a
pit
bit
with
too
him.
regular.
Somebody stopped us before he got too hairy. But again, this is just a part of racing, and now I can just laugh at it. It was just when you're in the middle of it and you're getting taken out by somebody, you obviously getting a bit upset, but it's racing.
Yeah. Rich has put, great interview. Good to see Brian hasn't changed much. Those years were certainly fun times at Swindon.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Rich. Right, the last one I'll ask you. If you could give good advice to any youngster out there that wants to be a pro speedway rider that's looking to get into it, what would your advice be?
Go fast. No,
Come and get your engine.
I am doing. I am because I am still involved with a lot of young riders in Denmark, so I am trying to advise them.
Yeah.
I think a lot of guys you see early on in like early stages they have talent, so I don't think you need to tell them too much because they know what they know what they're doing. A lot of them, but one thing I always say is make sure you learn how to start or make like gates because it makes life so much easier when you're a speedway rider. A lot of guys today, especially in Poland, they go out training. They're sitting there with the stopwatch to check their times on the track, and I'm just thinking, you know, why? You know, if you're not making starts, you can go as fast as you like. You're not going to win. You know,
Yeah.
so if you want to be a good rider, you know, and you can look at everybody who's won world championships over the years. They've been good gators. So if you want to become a good top class rider, make sure you learn how to start. Most important thing.
Yeah, definitely. You were good at some starts as well, Brian.
Yeah, sometimes.
Make it when you need to and all that.
Yeah.
Dave's put, thanks, Brian and Lee. Loving the interview. Cheers.
Thanks,
Lots
mate.
of people have been saying lots of nice things throughout the night, and
Cheers.
lots of nice things throughout the night. Nice interview, lads. Good to see you again, Brian. Say hi to Heidi for me and have a good Christmas.
I will do. Cheers, Hollis. Thanks.
Really appreciate your time, Brian. Great to meet you on here as well. Really appreciate it.
My
Loved you at
pleasure.
Swindon. One of my favourite riders, without a doubt. Really appreciate you coming on, buddy. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. No worries.
Take it easy.
Anytime.
Cheers, Brian.
See you,
Hopefully
Lee.
bump into you soon. Cheers, buddy. Bye, mate. Thanks, mate. What a ledge. Mr. Brian Karger. What a ledge. Loved Brian at Swindon. They were great memories of growing up at Swindon with your Wayne as well, and Lee Kilby's, Neil. Great times growing up, watching all those guys. Hope to get a few more of the Swindon legends I loved over the years. Phil Crump, I have spoke to him, and hopefully I'll be able to get it on with Phil, sort it out. Obviously, it's not easy with the time differences and stuff. Spoke to Jimmy before and like to get Jimmy Nielsen on. Spoke to Pete and Arlene. Like to get all them guys on, so hopefully I'll be able to get them guys on soon enough. Thank you very much. Everyone enjoyed Brian being on. Thank you. Everyone enjoyed seeing Brian. Really cool to see him. Really appreciate all the people come on tonight. It was nice to see loads of people on live tonight. got some more legends coming in as well. We saw Roscoe obviously come in. We saw, did I see Paul Hurry? Paul Hurry came in. Billy Hamill came in tonight. Eric Gunderson, I believe. He didn't register his name, but we saw the missus come in and show me on the phone that Eric came in, so that was really cool as well. Lots of guys came in. It's really cool. Colin Richardson. It's really cool to see all these guys coming in. It's really, really, really cool. Yeah, I'll be putting more information out there about more interviews with motocross and speedway over the coming weeks in the winter. Everything's going really well. Great start to our new motocross and speedway members reunion. Some of you guys, especially from the Swindon area, should keep in mind that my meeting is only in Oxford, in Culham, near Abingdon. So it's only sort of like 50 minutes away from Swindon. So if you guys want to come over, it's a 2-day event. People will go in there and stay in from Friday, and it's racing all day Saturday and Sunday. Don't forget there will be motocross and speedway pro motocross and speedway riders. Already got my first legendary speedway rider booked in with 1982 British Speedway champion Andy Graham will be there again, which is awesome. Hopefully you guys can come and check it out as well, and you'll get to see some of the speedway guys there. Hopefully, not sure how Roscoe's knee is, but let's do this live, shall we? We'll do this. I'll take this live while I'm still on there. Oh, here you go.
Oh, you're still on there, Lee. Sorry, I'll call you later.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
All right.
Cheers, bro. Yeah, I'd love to. Hopefully, Roscoe's knee's going well. How's the knee, Roscoe? Never know. Hopefully, we get Roscoe out on a bike. It'd be cool in the Legends demonstration. So basically, we have a couple of sessions of sort of 10-15 minutes of demonstration laps of. There was a few guys. We had a former Swindon rider, Paul Lee, who was riding at the last reunion. Robbie Kessler had a ride. It was really cool on a Super Evo bike. I remember him was on a Kawasaki. Unfortunately, Ollie Allen and Chris Louis couldn't make it in the end. They were trying to come as well, so hopefully might be able to get them guys back in. Simon Walker was going to try and come. I did speak to Richie Hawkins as well, but I'd like to get as many of them guys there as well. It was also really cool as well. Ronnie Corrie come to watch as well with his two boys. It was really cool. Got him to come. We had a lot of motocross guys was there. It was great. Craig Prattley, who came from the Oxford area, who's a great rider in the World Championship and British Championships. He was there on his Castrol Honda. It was awesome to see. So we'll hopefully get quite a few more motocross and speedway guys out there. It'd be really good. So I will speak to all them guys. 100%. Beautiful. That'd be good to get Roscoe there. Sure we'll be able to sort a bike with someone that we can sort. So that'd be good to get you guys out there. And like I said, for all you guys in Swindon or around these sort of areas or anywhere not far away, you might want to come and check that out. It's on the 9th and 10th of April, Saturday and Sunday, 2022. It's going to be at Culham in Oxford, which is literally 2 minutes down the road from Abingdon. Some of you guys probably have heard of it, know about it. And obviously there's a little bit of excitement about as well around that way with the Speedway coming back with Oxford. Yeah, Jamie's trying to race that day, mate. So it'll be interesting. Jamie's not raced motocross since a long time ago. 1990, I think he last rode on an ATCC. So we ain't even rode that bike yet, Roscoe. Just looking at it in a minute. So yeah, we'll sort you out a bike either way. Don't worry about that. No problems. A lot of the guys like to see some of you guys out on the bikes anyway. So I remember, I think, what did Andy Graham borrowed? Andrew Spender had a KTM 250 4-stroke that Andy went round on. Paul Lee had a 250 4-stroke Honda of his own. And I remember, I think Robbie Kessler had I don't know if he had a 250 or a 500 2-stroke Kawasaki. I don't remember what's cool. Yeah, but it was very good. Not sure who that is. Who is that? I'm not sure who that is. Maybe I could look on my thing and see if I can see who's just said that. said that. Someone's not registered as Xing me out. Oh, there you go. I can see Phelps' name. Yeah, Phelpsy. Get involved. I think I did speak to Simon Walker that raced, even raced the BSMA motocross in the 80s and 90s. He actually started, Simon Walker and Jamie started at the same time in the 60cc at local tracks. So Simon was supposed to be riding the last one, but he had an injury as well, and then obviously all the COVID stuff as well, him living abroad. But hopefully we'll be okay on that front. You know, some weird stuff going on again at the minute. But yeah, get involved. We've got to get as many involved as we can. It'd be really cool. It was great atmosphere. It was like we had all the old school air horns were out, like the ones we always used to have at Speedway, and that was really good. Yeah, because Roscoe you did all the BSMA stuff as well, didn't you, Roscoe, and the Severn Valley All British and stuff like that. I remember you saying about, I know you did all that before you did Speedway. I think quite a few guys actually. Obviously, I know Chris Louis did when I spoke to Chris Louis in his interview, and I think that's why he wanted to come to the reunion, but he unfortunately couldn't in the end. I think Calvin Tatum, didn't he? Did motocross, but I know a lot of the guys did a lot of grass track over the years before they did Speedway, but a lot did fat twat racing. Yeah, Kenny Nerden, Tim Wheeler. Yeah. Then obviously there was Brian Wheeler. So Tim there. So yeah, so we're getting all that in. I will literally just been the last 24 hours, 36 hours, just been flat out booking people in, which is really cool. I think when I last counted, I had about 170 odd riders booked in that time, so it's amazing. We can have sort of 350 odd, which we had about 340, 350 in the meeting in September just gone, which is unbelievable. First event, couldn't believe it. So chuffed. So we're hoping to go bigger and better again this one. We're going to a British Championship now, track this time, so we sort of up the ante a bit. So yeah, there's quite a lot of all the big meetings, British Championships, all the big national meetings. There's a lot of meetings at Culham in Oxford this year, so it's great to be going to a nice venue like that as well. So that'd be cool. Of course, it's more central, which a few of the guys are happy with, and it's not far from Swindon as well, which is good. So yeah, so hopefully you guys from Swindon and all them sort of areas around there, maybe Oxford way and down that way, can come in and see the meeting and see some of the old Speedway guys as well, which would be cool, especially with what's going on down there with the Oxford boys back for next year. And hopefully the Swindon one's the year after that. So thanks for everyone for coming on tonight, really appreciate it. Got to quote the old man that. It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. There you go. Hope you have a good rest of your evening, and I will speak to you all soon. And what I'll do is I'll sort of announce some of the legends and riders that will come in that Legends Laps, and I'll announce all them over social media, so you can check it out. And some of you Speedway fans will want to get along. Like I said, there was people, Speedway riders there watching, even like your Ronnie Corries and guys like that were there watching as well, which was really cool. So hopefully you'll come again this year. Next year, I keep saying this year. I keep thinking I did the meeting last year. Still this year, isn't it? I'm trying to get into next year. Right, speak to you all soon. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much for coming on, and I'll let you know what the next few interviews are coming up. Cheers.